Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Yashodanam Dana Praja Jana Ranjana Yashodanam Dana Praja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class, and this morning we are speaking about the Canto 9, the chapter 11, and is the first verse. So we are starting a new chapter today. And because we are actually discussing about a new chapter, I feel that it was important to read the synopsis of the chapter. Like this we can start to meditate on what's gonna happen. So the title of the chapter is Lord Ramachandra Rules the World. So this chapter describes how Lord Ramachandra resided in Ayodhya with his younger brother and performed various sacrifices. Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, performed various sacrifices by which to worship himself. And at the end of these sacrifices, he gave land to the Ota, Advalyu, Udgata, and Brahma priests. He gave them the eastern, western, northern, and southern direction, respectively, and the balance he gave to the Acharya. Lord Ramachandra's faith in the Brahmana and affection for his servant was observed by all the Brahmana, who then offered their prayer to the Lord and returned whatever they had taken from him. They regarded the enlightenment given to them by the Lord within the core of their hearts as a sufficient contribution. Lord Ramachandra subsequently dressed himself like an ordinary person and began wandering within the capital to understand what impression the citizen had of him. By chance, one night he heard a man talking to his wife, who had gone to another man's house. In the course of rebuking his wife, the man spoke suspiciously of the character of Sita Devi. The Lord immediately returned home and, fearing such a rumor, he superficially decided to give up Sita Devi's company. Thus, he banished Sita Devi, who was pregnant, to the shelter of Valmiki Muni, where she gave birth to twin sons, named Lava and Kusha. In Ayodhya, Lakshman begot two sons, named Angada and Chitraketu. Bharat begot two sons, named Taksha and Pushkara. And Shatrughna begot two sons, named Subahu and Shrutasena. When Bharat went out to conquer various lands on behalf of the emperor, Lord Ramachandra, he fought many millions of Gandharva. By killing them in the fight, he acquired immense wealth, which he then brought home. Shatrughna killed a demon named Lavana at Madhuvan, and thus established the capital of Mathura. Meanwhile, Sita Devi placed her two sons in the care of Valmiki Muni and then entered into the earth. Upon hearing of this, Lord Ramachandra was very much aggrieved, and thus he performed sacrifices for 13,000 years. After describing the pastime of Lord Ramachandra's disappearance and establishing that the Lord appeared for his pastime only, Shukadev Goswami ends this chapter by describing the result of hearing about the activities of Lord Ramachandra, and by describing how the Lord protected his citizen and displayed affection for his brother. Okay. So now that we know a little bit more about what's going to happen in this chapter, we can recite the verse of today. So the verse 1, you can repeat after me, please. Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhagavan Atmanatmanam Rama Hutama Kalpakai Salva Deva Mayam Devam Ije Tacharya Vanmakai Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhagavan Atmanatmanam Rama Uttama Kalpakai Salva Deva Mayam Deva Ije Tacharya Vanmakai Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhagavan Atmanatmanam Rama Uttama Kalpakai Salva Deva Mayam Deva Ije Tacharya Vanmakai Shri Radha Parisisvara Mandir Shri Nitai Sachishita ki Jai Ekanath Baladev Subhadra ki Shri Prabhupada ki. Please repeat.
Prabhu, forgive me because I cannot say.
Okay.
Please forgive me.
No problem. I can try to make it bigger.
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhagavan Atmanatmanam
Rama Uttama Kalpakai Sarva Deva Mayam Deva Ije Tacharya Vanmakai
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Bhagavan
Atmanatmanam
Rama Uttama Kalpakai Sarva Deva Mayam Deva
Ije Tacharya Vanmakai
Shri Shuka
Uvacha Bhagavan Atmanatmanam Rama Uttama Kalpakai Sarva Deva Mayam Deva Ije Tacharya Vanmakai Shri Shuka Uvacha Bhagavan Atmanatmanam Rama Uttama Kalpakai Sarva Deva Mayam Deva Ije Tacharya Vanmakai. Okay, word for word. Shri Shuka Uvacha Shri Shukadev Goswami said, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Atmana, by himself, Atmanam, himself, Rama, Lord Ramachandra, Uttama Kalpakai, with very opulent paraphernalia, Salva Deva Mayam, the heart and soul of all the demigods, Devam, the Supreme Lord himself, Ije, worship, Ata, thus, Acharyavan, under the guidance of an Acharya, Makai, by performing sacrifices. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shukadev Goswami said, thereafter, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Lord Ramachandra accepted an acharya and performed sacrifices, yagya, with opulent paraphernalia. Thus, he himself worshipped himself, for he is the supreme Lord of all demigods. Savahanam Achyuteja. If Achyuta, the supreme personality of Godhead, is worshipped, then everyone is worshipped, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yatatara mula nishichanenam tripriyanti tatskanda buddhu vashakaham pranopaharakcha yatandriyanam tateva sarvahanam achyuteja. As putting water on the root of a tree nourish the trunk, branches, twigs, and leaves, and as supplying food to the stomach enliven the senses and limbs of the body, worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead satisfies the demigods, who are part and parcel, who are part of that Supreme Personality. Performing yaga involves worshipping the Supreme Lord. Here, the Supreme Lord worships the Supreme Lord. Therefore, it is said, special pastime. Therefore, it is said, Bhagavan Atmanatmanam ij. The Lord worshipped himself by himself. This does not, of course, justify the Mayavad philosophy by which one thinks himself the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Jiva, the living entity, is always different from the Supreme Lord. Haribo!
Haribo! Sri Radha Parisisvara Mandir.
Jai!
Sri Ekanath.
One more time.
So the Jiva, the living entity, is always different from the Supreme Lord. The living entities, Vibhi Namsha, never become one with the Lord. Although the Mayavadi sometimes imitate the Lord's worship of himself. Lord Krishna meditated upon himself every morning as a Grihastha. And similarly, Lord Ramachandra performed yagya to satisfy himself. But this does not mean that an ordinary living being should imitate the Lord by accepting the process of ahangrahopashana. Such an unauthorized worship is not recommended herein. Om Agana Timilandasya Gyanam Jana Shalakaya Shakshurun Meditam Yena Tasma Shri Guruve Namaham Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Nadatvisva Padantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sham Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savatutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Vita Shri Vishakam Vitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanshakarma Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Good morning and welcome to Srimad Bhagavatam class. First of all, I beg your prayer and mercy to be able to speak something that will be relevant for your heart and that will purify myself, although I feel unqualified to speak about Srimad Bhagavatam, but our dear Temple President Jiva Prabhu asked me, so it's always the great fortune to satisfy the devotees and to do what they want. So I will read the verse again and we will explain a little bit more. So Shukadev Goswami said, thereafter the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Ramachandra, accepted an acharya and performed sacrifices, yagya, with opulent paraphernalia. Thus he himself worshipped himself, for he is the Supreme Lord of all demigods. So there is 3 key points in this verse that we can first of all notice, and then we will develop these 3 points. So the first point is that actually Lord Ram, he accepted a guru, is Acharyavan. And the second point that is mentioned in the verse is that he was performing yagya, he was performing sacrifices. That's the second point. And the third point is that he was worshipping himself. So those three points we will discuss today. So just a little bit of remembering to set up the scene and to understand what's going on in this chapter is that actually after many years of exile and after the great battle with Ravana, Lord Ram, he come back to Ayodhya. He is coming back to Ayodhya, and actually the city, the capital, is full of joy. Everyone is so happy to see the Lord back, and it's full of light. The kirtan are going on, and actually you can imagine that if the Lord is living for more than 14 years and he come back suddenly, then of course all the citizens will be full of joy and full of ecstasy. So that's what's the scene. That's what was going on at the moment, and we can be curious as well. Like he's still after 14 years, he made the effort to come back, but I'm sure that if similar things will happen to us, I'm not sure we will come back to our country or whatever it is. But still, he was too attached to his friends, to his family, to everyone around, to all the citizens, that he decided to come back. And it was just a pastime. Actually, he was not afflicted by his departure, by his exile. He was not afflicted by it. He just did it to follow the Dharma and to show as well the example. So we saw in the verse that as well he accepted an acharyavan, that's the Sanskrit term, and even though he's Bhagavan, he's the Lord himself, but still he accepted Vashishta Muni as his spiritual master. And this is quite unbelievable to understand that the Lord, he accepted the Guru, and we can ask ourselves, like, what he is trying to teach actually. Well, he's showing us that divine life actually means to surrender, means to live under guidance, is not to speculate and do whatever you want. Divine life means to destroy our false ego, our false impression that we are controlling. So even as the Lord, to set up the example, he did it himself. He become humble and submissive, and he wanted to be guided by Vashishta Muni. And so that's a point that we should always remember in our spiritual life, that if we start to be independent and to have desire to actually be alone and to be far from devotees, not listen to whatever authorities we have, that's not a very good sign, because means we will not surrender to our authority. It can be dangerous for our spiritual life, because we will always need guidance, basically. We may think that we are doing well and we know a lot already because we are practicing since many years. That can be there, but the fact is that we should always be guided, and it can be disturbing sometime that, okay, I'm an old devotee or whatever it is, and why should I listen to someone who is younger? Well, you know, it's not about the age, it's more about the surrendering process, we can say. And so this is something that we should really remember, this point of being submissive and surrendering to our authorities. So that was the first point that I wanted to mention. And the second point was about the yagya, the different yagya that was performed at that time. It was actually performed not in order to get something, like in terms of material gain. It was more an offering for the Lord, for His pleasure. And actually, He was doing it for Himself, but He was again setting the example. And that's actually the mystery of divine love, we can say, is that the Lord, He worships Himself, but through His devotees. Because His devotees, they are representing the Lord. And so He worships Himself through them. And so this is something that we can grasp as well, and understand that we need to do yagya. Everyone knows that our yagya in our Kali Yuga is the Sankirtan Yaga, and of course it means to go on the street and give Krishna consciousness to everyone, and it's not always easy. We all know that, but still it's very important to do it, because even though it may not be so pleasant for our mind and body, but still it gives pleasure to the Lord. So that's the reason why we have to do it, is because we are here to give pleasure to Krishna. So our yaga is the Sankirtan Yaga, and therefore everyone should at least during the week try for 1 hour to go out on the street and spread Krishna consciousness, because that will first of all bring you a lot of satisfaction within your heart, but not even that, but you will feel more enlivened as well in your other service, because sometimes we find some excuses that, oh, I have too many services in the temple, I don't have time to go out. Yeah, it can be there, but to sacrifice a little time during the week to go out is very important. So yeah, we don't need to do like big sacrifices, like even to give one magazine to someone can be greatly satisfying. So the real fire is not the fire the material fire, but more the offering of devotion. It's more, that's the more important. So we can see as well in the verse that Lord Ramachandra, he was worshipping himself, and this is quite surprising that how it is that the Lord is worshipping himself. We can think like, well, he's not so humble, like he's worshipping himself. Oh, sounds strange. And Prabhupada in the purport is speaking as well about the Mayavadi. This is nice point to understand that there is some people in the world today that think that they are God. And this is very interesting. I don't know if you met some people like this. You met some? Did you met some people like this in the street?
Like, for example?
Oh, okay, you were not listening.
No, I was listening, but you know what you mean. You explain.
Well, people who think they are God.
Yeah.
Did you met people like this in the street?
Well, we all think like that.
Yeah, to some extent. We all think
To some extent, yes.
we are meeting it.
There was a man who was walking in the street in London with a T-shirt, and in the back of the T-shirt was written, "I used to be an atheist," and then in the front, "Now I realize I was God."
Oh wow.
Oh,
Bravo.
my God.
Well done. So yeah, it's nice realization. So actually, this is the last snare of Maya. Is that Maya will tell you that you are God. This is the last snare of Maya, and therefore it's good somehow because you are making spiritual advancement. Means after realizing that you are not God, then you will surrender to God. So it's a good point at least. Because I mean it may take some time, but this is the gradual process. Like
it's spiritual suicide.
yeah, yes. I mean, I'm trying to find some positivity in their achievement, and yeah, it is said as well that it's the last snare of Maya. So after
No more snares.
after that, basically, hopefully they will come to Krishna. So that's why we need to go on the streets, because it's not clear for everyone that Krishna is God. It's not clear for everyone. So if we are not making this effort of going out, then the world will be still corrupted, and even our authorities, I mean our governments, they are thinking a little bit like this as well. It seems like that, because if you look at it well, they get so much wealth, and even though some people are so poor, and it doesn't seem like there is some practical action to help them, because this is going on since time immemorial, and so yeah, it can be dangerous to think like that. I mean, it is dangerous. So yeah, just a quick story. I had a friend when I was in Australia, and yeah, I was hippie at that time, so I was kind of trying to meditate, and I met this friend, and this friend, he said to me, "Okay, look, we will meditate together, and if you focus well, then you can actually you can make the cloud, or you can move the clouds. If you can meditate very well, you will be able to do that." And so I was with him, and I was looking at him because I felt that it was pretty obvious that we cannot do that. So, and he was very focused, and at some point, yeah, the clouds moved somehow, and the sun was hidden. And then he looked at me and said, "Look, yes, I told you, I can do it. I'm very powerful." So yeah, Maya can bring us far. Maya can drive us crazy sometimes, and it may not be as deep as that. Means it can be less sometimes. We cannot like. We cannot think about it so grossly, but it can be very subtle as well. It can be very subtle that, okay, I don't have time to serve. I need to enjoy. I need to get that. I need to get that things for my pleasure. So yeah, sometimes. Our desire are very subtle, that still we think ourselves the proprietor, the enjoyer, and it's just not nice to notice it and observe it and try to, modify our consciousness. Obviously, we were saying that if we are in the material world, it's because we are all thinking like that. We are all little bit Mayavadi inside of us. But by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, who actually came to destroy the Mayavadi and to annihilate the miscreants as well and the voidism, then we should be able to understand that we are servants of Krishna. And so Rama's example, he reminds us that we grow by surrender, not by pride. If we are pride, we will never grow because we will think, okay, I know everything. No one can teach me because I know everything. So this is dangerous. If we have pride in our hearts, there will be no space for growth. So we should destroy this pride. And Srila Prabhupada, he was a great example of that mood, because even himself, he was always seeing himself as the servant of his Gurudev, of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. He was always putting him in the center in his life, that saying that everything he did was actually by the mercy of his spiritual master. Even though our Srila Prabhupada became the Jagat Guru, he can be very proud about it. Like, can be the guru of the whole world. But no, actually he was very submissive still to his spiritual master. And this is something that we should always remember as well, that whatever we are doing today, whatever we are able to understand or to teach to others, is not because of us, but because of our Gurudev, actually. And so this is one application for the devotees, is to remember that whatever came to us is only by the mercy of our predecessor. And that's why our lineage is so powerful, because we have a great disciplic succession, and we are always trying to thank them, being grateful to them, and they will guide us. It's not that because they are not here physically nowadays, it's not that there is no hope. No, it's not like this. Actually, they are always present. Prabhupada said that I will be forever present. I will be present eternally with you. If you read my books, if you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, therefore I will always be with you. So we should not worry too much about the future, what will happen. Rather, we should be trying our best to stay present and to do our yagya properly, Sankirtan yagya. We should as well try to meditate on this verse that Krishna, he wants to show us something. He wants to show us that actually the path back to him is the path of humility, service, and guidance. So let's try to imbibe this this understanding, and with all our love, we should offer our life to our spiritual master, and this is our only hope. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is there any correction, question? It's
May I know your name, please?
Ekanath Das.
Ekanath Das. Thank you, Prabhu. I am Pranishwar Das.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for your lovely class. And I appreciated very much your teaching and your instructions. And I wish to be eternally your servant. Thank you, Prabhu. Ekanath Das.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai
And
Prabhupada.
all glories to the Sankirtan movement
Jai.
of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda.
Jai.
All glories to the Lordships, it's Radha Parisisvara Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Thank you
Jai.
very much, Prabhu. I'm so happy to be back
Yeah, thank you
in
for
your
coming.
association.
Jai.
Hare
Wonderful.
Krishna. Prabhupada is a savior of the most fallen, I
Sure.
can say. And I consider myself as his dog.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
And he has put me on the leash again. So I'm so happy
Mm.
to be walking near the feet of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Jai. That's the best place to be. Thank you.
Yes, no doubt.
Jai.
The rest is hellish. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Rameshwar Prabhu is a Srila Prabhupada disciple. So
I was lucky
it's
to.
very.
I used to be a limousine driver in the
Yeah.
devotees in the year 70s.
Mm.
They asked me, Srila Prabhupada is coming this date at the airport. Can you arrange for a nice car? And then I went to meet my old boss and I asked him if we could rent a car. How much would it cost?
Mm.
And I explained to him who was it for. And then when he heard about Prabhupada and his mission, how we distribute love of God all over the world, he was a good Christian, Orthodox, from Russian, I think, or family. And then he told me, I said, we rent a car. And then he said, for this man, you can use our best limousine that we have for weddings,
Mm.
white, nice Mercedes Benz, and then it will cost nothing. You just pay for petrol,
Mm.
that's all. And then we used the car for 10 days. We went to New Mayapur, we went to the airport, and I was driving and looking in the mirror, and I saw His Divine Grace. You know, this is the highlights of my life.
Wow. Thank you for sharing.
This has saved me from being an animal, maybe. Yes.
Wow.
Jai Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada. Jai.
Jai.
Wonderful.
The moment association with a pure devotee is incredible.
Yeah.
A moment only. You
Mm.
know?
1 second. Yeah.
Like we have today. Janananda Maharaj.
Yeah. Sure.
What a devotee. Wow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Janananda Maharaj will be coming here on the 17th of
17.
20.
At 20?
Did he say again 17? But I
Oh, I don't
thought it was.
Maybe there was some change. Okay.
It's
he
still
will-
better.
will-
The earlier the better.
It will come soon.
Oh.
Try. All right. Okay. Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
His Grace Ekanath Prabhu ki.
Jai.
Sounds good.